In the Middle East, activation of a volcano that had been asleep for 700,000 years, a series of powerful earthquakes in Southeast Asia, unusual points of fluid discharge from the bottom of the Antarctic seas. What connects these phenomena occurring in different parts of the planet? About this and the main climate events of the past week, coming up next. New Zealand.
Wait! In any other country?
On the 21st of October in New Zealand, due to strong winds and torrential rains, schools were closed and mass power outages were recorded. Because of the bad weather, flights were delayed and cancelled, and passenger ferry traffic was temporarily suspended. Due to floods and landslides, part of the national highways was temporarily closed. In Hawke's Bay on the North Island, strong wind overturned a truck, injuring one person. The hazardous weather conditions caused chaos in the capital of New Zealand, Wellington, where wind speeds in some places exceeded 33 meters per second. At one of the city's intersections, a strong gust of wind literally blew a woman onto the roadway. Her bag and personal belongings scattered across the street, but fortunately, the drivers of the passing cars managed to brake in time. In one of the most popular places for walks and recreation, the city park on the slope of Mount Victoria, a gust of wind tore off a tree branch, which fatally injured a man. Although Wellington has traditionally been considered the windiest city in New Zealand, famous for its howling storms, the force of this one surpassed everything the locals had seen before. France. On the 20th of October, in the department of Val d'Oise, near Paris, a deadly tornado swept through. The disaster affected several communes of the region, causing large-scale destruction, from overturned cars and torn-off roofs to broken power lines. As a result, traffic jams formed on local roads, and about 1,700 people were left without electricity. For residents whose homes were damaged by the disaster, the authorities organized temporary accommodation in a sports hall. At a construction site in the municipality of Ermont, 3 large cranes collapsed. The metal structures crushed several cars and damaged nearby buildings. 1 person was killed, 9 were injured, 4 of them in critical condition. According to the European database of severe weather events, the tornado that passed through Ermont was preliminarily classified as IF2 on the International Fujita scale. This level indicates wind speeds ranging from 180 to 220 kilometers per hour. A tornado in Val d'Oise is a rare phenomenon. The last similar vortex was weaker and observed here more than 20 years ago. At the same time, meteorologists recorded another tornado in the area of the commune of Chaumont-en-Vexin. Fortunately, its consequences turned out to be much less destructive. Brazil. On the 18th of October, in the south and southeast of Brazil, strong winds were observed, reaching speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour, which led to power supply disruptions and damage to buildings. About 37,000 consumers in the state of Santa Catarina were left without electricity. The most severe consequences of the hurricane were recorded in the state capital, Florianopolis, where wind speeds reached 90 kilometers per hour. During a children's football tournament, a massive tent structure was torn off and thrown to the ground near the training field by a gust of wind. The incident caused panic among spectators, and the event was promptly stopped. Another incident occurred in the Brazilian state of São Paulo during an international beach tennis tournament in the city of Ribeirão Preto. A sudden gust of wind tore the roof off the spectator stands. As a result, 9 people were injured, one of them in serious condition. In the city of Maytao, hurricane-force winds knocked down trees and tore part of the roof off a medical facility. And in Monte Aprazível, organizers decided to cancel the Aviva Monte Music Festival after elements of the stage and tent structures collapsed. Bolivia. On the 16th of October, a powerful downpour with hail hit the city of Tarija and nearby areas, causing enormous damage. The intense water flows led to the collapse of a wall of the Office of Territorial Planning building and caused damage to the central market. Within a few minutes, the streets and squares of the city were flooded and covered with a significant layer of ice, with hail drifts in some places reaching a height of up to 2 meters. The excessive mass of hail accumulated on rooftops caused the collapse of the roofs of several buildings, including the regional hospital, several schools, and kindergartens. In the rural communities of the Cercado province, crops were destroyed, leading to significant losses for farming households. Antarctica. On the seabed off the coast of the Ross Sea, scientists recorded multiple sources of liquid and gas discharge. If previously such fluid emissions in this area were considered rare, they are now being discovered more and more often, even in well-studied zones where no activity had been observed for decades. During the research, advanced technologies were used: acoustic scanning from a vessel, underwater video monitoring, and diver submersions. The analysis of the data showed that degassing areas can cause the formation of local biologically dead zones. The obtained results are consistent with data indicating an increase in geothermal heat flow beneath West Antarctica. This manifests itself in the accelerated melting of glaciers from the bottom upward, and in the relatively rapid uplift of the Earth's crust in certain regions, such as the Amundsen Sea area. This process promotes the decomposition of gas hydrates and the release of gas, which is likely associated with the formation of new fluid discharge sources on the seafloor. Iran. For more than 700,000 years, the stratovolcano Taftan in Iran's Sistan and Baluchistan province, near the Pakistani border, was considered extinct. However, according to a study published in October of the current year, Taftan has begun to show signs of activity. An international team of scientists from China, Germany, and Spain, using satellite data, recorded that in just 10 months, from July 2023 to May 2024, the summit of the volcano rose by 9 centimeters. At the same time, the volume of fumarolic gas emissions reached 20 tons per day, confirming the ongoing magmatic degassing of the volcano. Since the surface has not subsided, this indicates that the pressure in the volcano's upper hydrothermal system remains high, and the risk of phreatic or magmatic eruptions at the summit of Taftan persists. Interestingly, the deformation was not accompanied by noticeable precipitation or seismic shocks, the usual triggers of such processes, which indicates that the cause of the volcano's unrest lies within its structure. Scientists believe that the recorded signs of activity could have been caused either by the accumulation of hot fluids and gases in the hydrothermal system or by the temporary intrusion of magma. Malaysia. On the 15th of October, a powerful storm hit the Kuala Langat district in the state of Selangor. According to the headman of one of the affected villages, the sky had been clear and the storm struck suddenly. No one expected that in just a few minutes the wind would destroy dozens of homes. It was, in his words, the worst tragedy in the past 50 years. The storm was accompanied by a powerful tornado that tore roofs off houses, destroyed walls and fences, and bent metal structures. Trees and power line poles were knocked down by the wind. In one of the elementary schools, the roof partially collapsed, causing panic among the students. As a result of the incident, 11 children were injured, 2 of them seriously. The building was declared unfit for use, and the education of 1,500 pupils was temporarily moved to remote learning. The office of the Legislative Assembly Coordinator was destroyed. A woman was trapped under the rubble, but rescuers quickly extracted her and took her to the hospital. In total, the storm damaged more than 40 houses, 6 schools, and a sports hall. The industrial zone also suffered significant damage. Philippines. Starting on the 18th of October, tropical storm Fengshen struck the northern and central Philippines, bringing torrential rains, floods, and devastating landslides. The islands of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao came under the impact of the disaster. The calamity forced more than 22,000 people to leave their homes and take shelter in temporary evacuation centers. Due to the bad weather, several national highways were closed and more than 10 flights were canceled. In 2 provinces, major power supply disruptions were reported. After heavy rainfall in the province of Bukidnon on the island of Mindanao, a powerful landslide descended, damaging a section of the national highway. When a fragment of the 4-lane road collapsed into a deep ravine, a 3-wheeled vehicle was trapped under the debris. 2 of its passengers are reported missing. The highway had to be closed. Drivers were offered detour routes, which increased travel distances by at least 60 kilometers. In the province of Quezon, on the 19th of October, the storm led to another tragedy. A bamboo house was completely destroyed by a huge tree that fell on it. As a result of the incident, 5 members of one family, including 2 children, were killed. Only 1 teenager survived. According to official data, the natural disaster in the country caused the deaths of at least 7 people. Seismic activity. During the past week, a series of powerful underground tremors occurred. Despite the absence of tsunamis and human casualties, the unusually high frequency of such events causes serious concern and keeps the population of these regions in constant tension. On the 16th of October, an underground tremor with a magnitude of 6.6 shook the province of Papua, Indonesia. The epicenter of the earthquake was located in the Sarmi district. Dozens of buildings were seriously damaged, including residential houses, several churches, markets, and infrastructure facilities. On the morning of the 17th of October, in the Philippine province of Surigao del Norte, a seismic event with a magnitude of 6.0 occurred. This earthquake continued the series of strong underground tremors that have been observed in the archipelago since the end of September and led to partial damage to buildings. Increased seismic activity was also recorded in the area of the Drake Passage. On the 10th of October, a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.6 occurred, and a week later, another underground shock with a magnitude of 6.3 was registered. It should be noted that throughout the entire history of seismic observations in this region, only 4 earthquakes with a magnitude above 7 have been recorded, and 3 of them occurred within 6 months of the current year. If we look deeper into the climate events shown in the report, it becomes clear that we are witnessing manifestations of a general global process, the intensification of the Earth's magmatic activity. According to the mathematical model developed by the scientific team ALLATRA, the Earth is currently passing through a stage in which the planet's core is receiving an additional influx of energy. The excess heat from the core is transmitted into the mantle layers, increasing the temperature of the magma and enhancing its mobility. As a result, the magma expands, eroding internal structures and filling old channels and cavities. The increasing pressure is transmitted to the lithospheric plates, and that is why today seismicity is growing even in places where it used to be rare. Earthquakes of magnitude 5 have become an almost daily phenomenon. Moreover, recently there has been a steady increase in the number of tremors with magnitudes of 6 and higher. The situation is further aggravated by the growing pollution of the ocean with micro and nanoplastics, which alter the thermal conductivity of water. The ocean originally functions as the planet's natural cooling system. However, today its ability to remove heat from overheating lithospheric plates is decreasing, which directly contributes to the intensification of climatic and geodynamic cataclysms. In essence, what is now happening beneath our feet resembles boiling inside a sealed vessel. Only the walls of this vessel are the Earth's crust. If you throw a sealed flask filled with water into a fire, what do you think will happen? After a while, it will explode. Today, we can not only foresee such a dangerous scenario, but also prevent it. Control over volcanic activity is possible. For example, through planned degassing, when artificial channels are created to release pressure from the Earth's crust. And this is already technically feasible today. However, the true problem lies not in technology, but in ourselves. As humanity, we have everything, except common sense, to make use of the available opportunities. Today, the key factors are personal responsibility, sound judgment, and the ability to assess the situation soberly. If we understand what is happening, see the patterns, and know how to prevent it, but remain silent, We become accomplices in a future catastrophe. How can we reach people? A good question. The answer is obvious. Do not stay silent.